Hi there, fellow collectors out there. My name's Jason. I collect and I play a whole lot of video games, and I made quite a few videos. I haven't made a video in a while, and I just thought I'd make a video of some of the games that I have played through this year. Now, I got a lot of games in my collection, so it takes me a while to finally get around to playing some of them because I like to jump system to system. I've had games on my shelves all around here for 10, 15 years I still haven't got to yet, but I plan to, and I'm working on it. So I played a lot of games this year, and I just want to talk about some of the games I played just this year. This isn't a best of list or anything, but these are some games that I played this year that I think is worth your money and worth your time. I played a few stinkers, a few average games. I'm not even going to talk about those, but these are the good ones that I played this year alone. So I did this last year, and I mainly played the NES, the Super NES, and the TurboGrafx last year. This year I focused more on Sega stuff. Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, and I did play some N64 for the first time in my life pretty much. So here's some of the games. For the Genesis, I played through about 45 games, and I'm going to start off with a really good shooter, Lightning Force. Which is, well, actually it's called, what's this one called again? Yeah, Lightning Force, even though it's Thunder Force series. It's actually part 4 Thunder Force. This is a really good shooter. Genesis is known for some really good shooters. I'm not sure what this is going for. Let's say 50 bucks. I don't know. Don't get mad. I think this is worth the investment as long as it's, you know, not over 70 bucks. It's a really fun game, worth your time. This game I heard a lot about, so I finally had to play it, and it's a fantastic game made by Treasure. Really good music, really good level design, a little on the easy side, but you know, it is a McDonald's game. But don't let this scare you away. This game is fun, fantastic music, great controls. This one, not a great game though. I just thought I'd pick it out because I did have a lot of fun with it, and it's probably my second favorite Disney game for the Genesis, behind Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. But really good game. I know this is probably going for under 50 bucks. Yes, it's worth your time. It's worth your money. You'll enjoy it. Another game that's not too overly expensive is Rocket Knight Adventures, made by Konami. Really good game. Pretty tough. Great graphics, great music. Haven't played the sequel yet. I do have it. This game, I'm pretty sure it's going for under 50 bucks. It is worth your time. It is worth your money. Another shooter. I do like playing my shooters, and there's a lot for the Genesis. Is Sagia, which is, I believe, part of the, yeah, it is part of the Darius family, which I've played some of those other games. A lot of underwater fish levels and stuff like that. Really good shooter with really good music. A lot of branching paths. I did beat one of the paths, and when I go back to play it again another time, I'll try some of the other ways. This one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. I've played both the Super Nintendo one, the Turtles in Time, and this one. They're both pretty similar. I would have to say the Turtles in Time is a little bit better, but this game was a lot of fun, and again, this is a little more pricier game. I think it's going around the $80 mark. If you like Turtles in Time, you're going to like that one. The other Thunder Force. I did play Thunder Force 2 quite a few years ago, so I have played all three of them for the Genesis. This one is fantastic. Now, I played the version for the Super NES under a different name, Thunder Spirits, I believe, and this one is much better. Runs faster, better graphics, has more levels. This is much better than the one for the Super Nintendo. Worth your time, worth your money. And last one for the Genesis is Vector Man. Really good game, came out late in the Genesis life. Lots of fun, really tough, and I did use like a it's a very tough game, so I did use a level skip code. And the funny thing is, when you pass the game using any kind of code, it calls you a cheater and says try again, and I really like that. A really good game. This is one of the cheapest games I've talked about for the Genesis. Definitely a lot of fun. Okay, I'm trying to speed this along. The Saturn, which I've had for years, I went and I bought the PlayStation when it came out new. Even though I was a Sega guy, I had the Genesis, had the Master System, never bought 32X, but had the Sega CD. But at that point, I could see the writing on the wall that the PlayStation was the way to go, so that's where I went. But now I'm having a lot of fun reliving a lot of these Saturn games, and I'm going to make this quick because there's quite a few that are good here. Albert Odyssey, just putting this up here because this is a game that runs for around 100 bucks. It's not the best role-playing game in the world. Now, it's made by Working Designs, who I absolutely love. And You know, the battle system's okay in it. The music, the graphics, the story, everything is okay. It's just the battle system's kind of boring. You just attack, heal after the battle, attack. There's not a whole lot of strategy involved, and so for $100, you could do better. But if you must have it, you won't hate it. You won't hate it. Let's just say that. Estelle, very good game, beautifully graphically. This is one of those games that you got to play. Not sure what it's going for. I think it's going for around $70. I think I don't really follow prices, so don't get mad. I don't sit there and go, all right, it's going up, down. This is just from memory of any time I might have seen it over the last few months. Really good game. Try to find this one. Try to play it. Clockwork Knight, great platformer. This is not a very expensive game, and you'll love it, especially if you like platformers. I couldn't put it down until I passed it. That's how much fun that game is. I really like that game. This game, I got to chuckle about for a second, is a really fun game, actually. I think it's going for like around $60, and it's Die Hard Arcade. And it's a button masher, beat 'em up, but the best thing about it are the quick time events. When you're running by some guy in the hall, if you hit the A button at the right time, you run by, you clock him in slow motion, and the guy just, he gets, oh, there's stuff like that that I just crack up about. Really good game. Another working design, Shining Force. There's not much I could say about this game. It goes for over $100. It's absolutely unique, fantastic. It's a mixture of role-playing game, real-time strategy, and a board game. And this is worth picking up. Go spend the money, play it, you'll love it. I mean, heck, you go out to dinner with a few friends and your wife and kids, and you got a $100 meal ticket anyways. That's better than going out to eat. Guardian Heroes. I'm putting this up here just because, again, this is a more expensive game, well over $100. And I'm just putting it up here because I don't know if you want to really spend your money on it unless you really love beat 'em ups. It was a lot of fun. The only problem is there's so much going on screen that 20% of the time playing it, I didn't even know where the hell my character was. There's 3 different plane levels of fighting and so many enemies going on that, you know, if you really love beat 'em up, it's good, but there's better games for over $100. But I just thought I'd say it because it was a good game. It's just worth that price. I don't know. Panzer Dragoon Saga. Now, believe it or not, I actually used to have 2 of these copies, and I sold one of them a few years ago for a measly $230, but that was kind of the price about 6-7 years ago. It's about a $600 game now. This has been sitting on my shelf for about 10 years. Finally decided, well, I got to start playing some Saturn games. I just finished it a few weeks ago, and is it worth $600? I don't think any game is worth $600, but if you absolutely have to get it, maybe you should try to pick it up loose. You will love it. Just remember, there's 4 discs. Fantastic game. Nothing else like it. Role-playing game on a dragon. Very unique battle system. Not overly difficult. Music is beautiful. World is beautiful. Must play. If you got the money, do it. I'm sorry all these Saturn games are expensive. I picked a lot of these up way back in the early 2000s when they weren't expensive, but now they're ridiculous. Shining Force 3. If you like Shining Force 1, like Shining Force 2, you're going to love this one. A lot of talking in this game, though. Just skip all the talking. And the last one for the Saturn, which I'm actually playing right now, so I can't say much about it. I'm only about 7 hours in. But Shining the Holy Ark. Cool first-person role-playing game. I've only got 7 hours in, but I already could tell it's very enjoyable. I like it, and the battles are cool. There's not as many battles, but the battles are a little longer taking, so it kind of balances itself out like that. But really fun. I can't wait to hopefully pass it before Thanksgiving. And then I just got 4 games to talk about the N64, a system that I've had absolutely really no experience with whatsoever up to this year. I started collecting for it years ago. Stuff just sat there, and I decided again, like with the Saturn, hey, it's time to start playing some of these games. So I only got 4 out of I only played 15, and some of them were average, some of them not so good. Yes, I did play Superman. I had to. So bad. So I just want to talk about these 4 games. Conker's Bad Fur Day. I think it's about a $100 game. It's a fun game. I wouldn't say it's great, but just the fact of the toilet humor and stuff, it's worth picking up, even if you pick up loose. I I didn't get all the way through it. I got a little bit bored with the repetitiveness of it all, but it's a game I will go back and pass later on in life. I wanted to just talk about, of course, the most famous 007. Unfortunately, my kids, I couldn't pull them off of Fortnite and other such games they're playing to help me try the two-person mode. But the one-person mode was a lot of fun. I made it about halfway through. I am going to force them to play with me the multiplayer mode so I could see exactly what all the hubbub is about. But yeah, really fun game. And these last two are almost criminal for me to talk about, and I apologize for me being a game collector and playing games for over 40 years now, that I've just recently played these two. Now, everybody in the world has played this game pretty much. For me to sit here and say I finally played it this year, yeah, and it was a blast. And I actually didn't finish it because I was stuck. I was playing it for so long I wanted to move to another game. Probably just a few stars away from Bowser's Castle, so I'm probably going to put this in at the start of next year and finish it off. And the last, most guilty one of all, is this. Now, I've played the first two and passed the Zelda games on the NES. Love both of them. A Link to the Past, great game. Link's Awakening for the Game Boy, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, but never played this game up to about 2 months ago. I decided I gotta play it. I remember some friends of mine back in the 90s playing it, and I watched them for a little bit. Fantastic game, to say the least. Not the greatest video game of all time, like some people say. It's the greatest game of all time. I absolutely loved it. I can't believe I waited that long to play this game. If you're like me and it's sitting on your shelf and you haven't played it yet, don't wait much longer. It's a game that has to be played and experienced. Don't know if it's my favorite Zelda game of all time, because they're all so damn good, but definitely worth your time. So these are some games that I just played this year. I'm going to try to do this every year. Next year I'm actually jumping around to a lot of different systems, going back to the Sega CD, more TurboGrafx, the 3DO, which is another system that I've had here for years I haven't touched. I'm going to go back to play some more Super Nintendo games. So all these games that I mentioned here, regardless of price, if you could get your hands on them, I think you're going to enjoy all these games. I did. These were the highlights of the year. Maybe I'll talk about the ones that I shouldn't have played, but, you know, I just don't know if a game is good or bad till you try it. So, hope this helps you out. Hope you're able to get a hand on a few of these games. And if, like I said, if you got games like Zelda in your possession, Ocarina of Time, you haven't played it yet, don't make the same mistake as I did. Go play it. So thanks for watching, and leave any comments below. Thank you.